Madwa upon you are you Shalom, stand in face Jerusalem. Blessing of the Sabbath. Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahusha, Asherah, Nathanawa, Hashabaf, Bashalawam, the water, Amen. English translation. Bless our Yahweh in the name of Yahushai that gives to us the Sabbath in peace. Thank you, so be it. Yahweh. The Aliyah Ma'a Asheraya Makad, Psalm 121. Anya, Orayam, Ayinyamya, O, Ahayam, Mayan, Yabua'a, Isaiah, Yabua'a, Maya Hawa, Shaisha, Shamayam, Wa Rataza, La'a, Yanathan, Lamawat, Wagalia, Yala'a, Yanawam, Gashamaka, Ana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yishan, Jashama, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamaya, Yahweh, Tazalia, Ayel, Yad, Yanyam Yad, Yawumam, Yashamash, La'a, Hakaya, Wayarak, La'a, Balayala, Yahawa, Yashamoya, Mako, Yashamor, Napasha, Yahawa, Yashamor, Awalakia, Awbaya, Maitha, Wa'ai, Iwulam, Bahasham, Yahausha, the water, Aman.
Psalm 121. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall not slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Amen.
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 Shema Yasharala, hear, O Israel. Shemai, Yasharala, Yahweh, Allah Hayinawa, Yahweh, Akkad, Shemai, Yasharala, Yahweh, Allah Hayinawa, Yahweh, Akkad, Shema, Yasharala, Yahweh, Allah Hayinawa, Yahweh, Akkad.
Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Amen.
Amen. Yahweh Tapala. Abiyanawa.
Abinawa,
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shubashamayim,
Chodash.
Kodash,
Haya.
Aya,
Shamka.
Shamka,
Yahweh.
Yahawa,
Malakovka.
Malakwata,
Taba'a.
Taba'a,
Ratazawanka.
Ratizawanka,
Haya.
Aya,
Aisha.
Aisha,
Ba'arataza.
Ratiza,
Ka.
Ka,
Bashamayim.
Bashamaya,
Ratananawa.
Lakanawa,
Lacham.
Lakam,
Yawam.
Yawam,
Za.
Za,
Wasalaknawa.
Wasalaknawa,
Kawafnawa.
Kawaknawa,
Kasalaknawa.
Wasalaknawa,
Kawafyanawa.
Kawaknawa,
Wala'a.
Wala'a,
Abiyanawa.
Yanawa,
O.
Ad,
Nasai 1.
Nasaiwan,
Abo.
Abad,
Al-Shainawa.
Shainawa,
Morai.
Marai,
Baya.
Aya,
Laka.
Laka,
Amalakwa.
Amalakwa,
Wa Allah.
Wa'ad,
Rataparat.
Wataparat,
La'ayulam.
Wa'ulam,
Aman.
Aman. Matthew 6 and 9. After this manner therefore pray, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
Ashura Matazawaf, the Ten Commandments. La'a.
La'a,
Yahaya.
Yahaya,
Laka.
Laka,
Alahayim.
Alahaya,
Al-Karyam.
Akari,
Al-Panya.
Apala,
La'a.
La'a,
Daisha.
Daisha,
Laka.
Laka,
Koso.
Wasa,
Wala'a.
Wala'a,
Daibudam.
Laibulo,
La'a.
La'a,
Dalakwaka.
Delaquaka,
Shamwa.
Shamwa,
Yahawa.
Yahawa,
Lahaika.
Ma'aika,
Lashawa.
Lashawa,
Zakar.
Zakar,
Af.
Ad,
Ayuwam.
Ayawam,
Ashabaf.
Ashabak,
Lakodashra.
Lakodashwa,
Kabad.
Kabad,
Abiyaka.
Abaka,
Wa Amaka.
Wa'amaka,
La'a.
La'a,
Tuatazak.
Rabatazak,
Da'a.
La'a,
Tana'ab.
Lana'ab,
La'a.
La'a,
Taganab.
Agana,
La'a.
La'a,
Ta'aina.
Lana,
Shukur.
Shakur,
La'a.
La'a,
Takamad.
Akama,
Ko.
Kod,
Ashura.
Ashura,
Lahaika.
Laraika,
Aman.
Aman. Exodus 22. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord bless the Sabbath day and holiday. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Amen.
Aman. Yeshua, please be seated. Barakata Yawa, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Asherah, Natananawa, Pa Yagapan, Tuwada Aman, La Yahawa, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Af Yasha Allah. English translation. Bless our Yahweh in the name of Yahushai that gives to us the fruit of the vine. Thank you, so be it. To Yahweh in the name of Yahushai with Israel. I madwa upon you, are you washing them? Since they choose them. With the Hebrew only. Barakata Yahweh.
Barakata Yahweh.
Agadol.
Haggadah.
Rakarum.
Rakawam.
Abiyah.
Abiyah.
Manawa'a.
Manawa'ah.
Aliwan.
Aliwan.
Malak.
Malak.
Sho.
Shah.
Shamayim.
Shamayim.
Wa'arataza.
Barakata.
Wako.
Wakad.
The Baryam.
The Bar.
Ayayam.
Ayayam.
Wagum.
Wakam.
Amashiach.
Amashiach.
Mayahawa.
Mayahawa.
Arawanawa.
Adawannawa.
Ahabnawa.
Ahabnawa.
Apala.
Apala.
Ya'aitaza.
Ya'aitisa.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Zakarnawa.
Zakarnawa.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Baratazawan.
Baratazawan.
Aimka.
Aimka.
Yasha Allah.
Yasha Allah.
Aizornawa.
Aizarnawa.
Bana.
Bana.
Wa Asap.
Wasap.
Yasha Allah.
Yasha Allah.
O.
Al.
Nanawa.
Nawa.
Yamyan.
Yamyan.
Aita.
Aita.
Kaiwamyam.
Kayawam.
Makudam.
Makudam.
Babakushai.
Babakusha.
Shalat.
Shalak.
Maika Allah.
Maika Allah.
Watazawadak.
Baratazawadak.
Alahayam.
Alahayam.
La.
La.
Magannawa.
Magannawa.
Wapanawa.
Rapanawa.
Washamor.
Washamor.
Alnawa.
Alnawa.
Baikor.
Baikor.
Shalat.
Shalak.
Aroka.
Aroka.
Shah.
Shah.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Lalamadnawa. Rabiam.
Rabiam.
Kakama.
Kakama.
Tabawana.
Tabawana.
Wada Aif.
Wada Aif.
Shah.
Shah.
Tabarka.
Tabarka.
Bahasham.
Bahasham.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Tawada.
Tawada.
Tamyad.
Tamyad.
Waiwalam.
Waiwalam.
Aman.
Aman.
English translation. Blessed are you, Yahweh, the great, merciful, mighty, terrible, most high power, King of heaven and earth and all things living, and also the anointed from Yahweh, our Lord, our friend, the wonderful counselor, Yahushai. Remember us, Yahweh, favorably, your people Israel. Help us build and gather Israel. Most high, we beg you, right now, like the days of old. Please send Michael and the righteous powers to protect us, heal us, and watch over us. Mainly send the spirit of Yahushai to us to teach us much wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of thy word. In the name of Yahushai, thank you, always and forever. So be it. Repeat the Hebrew only. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai that give to us the law. Ba'arakta Yahweh.
Barakta Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Asherah.
Asherah.
Natan Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Ata Orat.
Hata Orat.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai that give to us the light to see. Ba'arakta Yahweh.
Barakta Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Asherah.
Asherah.
Natan Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Awar.
Awar.
Lara Orat.
Awar.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, that give to us the ram's horn to call the people. Barakata Yahweh.
Barakata Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Asherah.
Asherah.
Natananawa.
Lanawa.
Koran.
Koran.
Ha'ayah.
Ayah.
Lakara.
Lakara.
Ha'ain.
Ha'ain.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, that give to us the olive oil to anoint Israel. Barakata Yahweh.
Barakata
Ba'ashem Yahushai, Asherah, Nathan Lanawa, Hashaman, Zayaf, Lamashak, Yasha Allah, Yeshua. Please be seated. Shalom. All right, so Shalom Yasharala. Welcome to Ayashrala Kanas, the congregation of Israel, where we teach the so-called Negroes and Hispanics, those scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, are the real Jews that the Bible speaks of. Today, as regularly scheduled, is the Sabbath day, and we will be going to the service and go over the scriptures, get the understanding, and draw some wisdom from the word that we will be reading today. My name is Kahan Pukwad. I am presiding over the service today, and have your book, Bible, ready so that we can follow along chapter 2 and 3 in the book of Mark. Mark chapter 2 and chapter 3. I'll probably drop off.
Daniel, got your name in here yet? Not yet. I need a space, please.
Did anybody read Mark chapter 2 and 3? Anybody follow along? Scriptures? Or read it? Any chance? I guess not. Did you read chapter 2 and 3 in Mark, Potat?
No. communicate. I'm going to the fast.
All right. So we're gonna get started in Mark chapter 2.
2 and 3, right?
Chapter 2, verse 3.
Okay.
But we know the first book in the New Testament is Matthew, and then comes Mark. It would be obvious that Matthew is the first book, right? In the New Testament, right? Huh?
Matthew.
Even though Matthew figured as the first chapter or as the first book, Mark is actually the beginning of the gospel. Let's go to Mark chapter 1, verse 1. Y'all you can read it once you have it. Mark chapter 1, verse 1.
Mark 1 and 1. The beginning of the gospel of Jesus Christ,
Okay.
the Son of God.
All right, here we go. Beginning of the gospel. D, capital D, all D. The beginning of the gospel of Yahushua. So Mark is the first book of the what we call the gospel. The beginning of the gospel of Yahushua Mashiach, the Son of Power. As it is written in the prophet, behold, I send my messenger before thy face. So Mark, that's why you see Matthew and Luke use Mark. They use the book of Mark. And also another thing that we're going to find out about the book of Mark, it shows that Yahushua doesn't do much talking. He goes straight to the point, or he gives you some parable, he gives you a story. And then after that, if you don't understand, he said, go learn what that means. Go do your research. Go read. Go find out. Go study. And there's wisdom in the way Yahushua taught, since he's our example. And that's why throughout the book, we see where it says, limit your words. Though the one who have much knowledge, speak less. When you have much knowledge of the scriptures, you speak enough just so that people can get the point. And if they don't get it, let them go and do their research. Let's go to Proverbs 10 and 19, right, to get the understanding of saying less rather than saying more. Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 19. Brother Dave, you can read it when you have it. Daniel, you can read it once you have it.
Chapter 2.
Chapter 10, verse 19.
Proverbs, chapter 10, And at verse 19, multitude of words, there are word of not sin. Read it again. Proverbs chapter 10 and at verse 19. In the multitude of words, there are one of not sin.
Okay. What else?
But one that is who is refineth his lips is wise.
Read it again. Read it again. Read it again. Take your time and read every word.
Okay. In the multitude of words, there are wanteth not sin, but that refraineth his lips is wise.
You're gonna read it again. You got to read it exactly how you see it.
In the multitude of words, there wanteth not sin, but that is refraineth his lips is wise. He that refraineth his lips is wise.
Okay. In the multitude of words, there wanteth not sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise. So you got to reflect when you talk a lot, you don't want to sin by talking a lot. When the multitude of words, there wanteth no sin. So when you speak in your words, you don't want to sin by saying the wrong thing. So that's why it's best to refrain, meaning to not go above and beyond what you should have said. Don't multiply words just to say something that could be shortened. Say what you have to say and stick to the point. So in the multitude of words, there wanteth no sin, and he that refraineth, but he that refraineth his lips is wise. So keep your cool. Don't say more than you ought to say. And that's a wise thing. And that's how Yahushua taught that way. Also, go to Proverbs 17 and 27. Come on, you can read that once you have it. Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 27.
He that hath knowledge spirit his words, and a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit.
So he that hath knowledge spareth his words. To the contrary, in the world, somebody would think he knows a lot, tend to run his mouth. Usually it's just to show off the knowledge that he got. Right? To show off his worldly knowledge. But somebody would really have knowledge, don't waste too much time talking too much. So he that have not spareth his word. He places his word carefully. He doesn't talk just for the sake of talking. He talks to speak something that is at hand that needs to be spoken of. So that's the way Yahushua spoke. So he says in the book of Mark, you're going to find out that he spoke, but when he speaks very short. If he's going to say something, he goes straight to the point. So that's one thing that you can observe about the book of Mark. And also, it's the shortest book, right? In the gospel. In the gospel. So this is some of the remarks before we start chapter 2 that we should note about the book of Mark. The beginning of the gospel, the book of Mark. Yahushua speaks a little bit less, or speak less when he's making a point. And also another thing we're going to find out in the book of Mark, what Yahushua came to do, he came to do it, and he does it with authority. That's another point to observe about the book of Mark. And also, we're going to find out that whatever Yahushua was doing, he has the right to do it. He was given the right of passage by the Most High to do it, including his miracles that he was doing. He has the right of passage. Also, to note, Yahushua in the book of Mark, he called himself the Son of Man. Right? And also, Yahushua came for sinners. Those are some of the points, among others, that we should note about the book of Mark that we're gonna go over. There are many more points to note, but those are some of the points that I note starting in chapter 2 and 3. Chapter 1, 2, and 3. But today we're gonna cover chapter 2 and chapter 3. All right, so let's go to chapter 2 now, book of Mark. Yeah, as we noted, that Mark is the beginning of the gospel. Right, because you see, Matthew start with the generation. Matthew start to tell you about the generation of Yahushua in Matthew, which is the chapter that's before Mark. But Mark is the beginning of the gospel. And you find that again in chapter 1, verse 1. The beginning of the gospel of Yahushua Mashiach is the book of Mark. Start early, y'all gonna start early. Now I say you start early. All right, chapter 2, verse 1. And again, he entered into Capernaum after some days, and it was noised that he was in the house. So Yahushua, after completing the store of the temple, so he came back to Capernaum. So as he came, the news went around. The news went around that he was in the house. He was in the house. He was in Capernaum, and over there, he was in the house somewhere in Capernaum. So because the word traveled around about what he used to do, there was a crowd. Crowds start to gather around. So it was so many people around, there was no room left inside that house. Not even around the door. It's like the house was a packed house. And at that time, he was in the house speaking the word, right? He was speaking the word in the house. So now, that's when everybody who had some sickness, who has some kind of issues, they want to meet this man. Right? They wanted to meet Yahushua. So there was a man who was sick. He was late because everybody trying to get there first. Not unlike today, we know Yahushua is not gonna be there. We come to the Sabbath service, at 11 or whenever our time, whenever we can get here.
Right.
But if we know Yahushua was there, I'm sure we would, probably sleep in front of the door or sleep in the car somewhere.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So that we can make sure we get first seat, front row seat.
Right. Stay overnight.
Right.
Like they're going to buy sneakers out there.
Right.
Stay overnight.
Stay overnight. Yeah, when they go buy sneakers out there, they stay overnight. And when the new iPhone is coming out, you see how people stand outside overnight, right, so that they can be the first one to get the gadget, right? The gadget.
Yeah.
But right now, we don't act like that when it comes to, Yahushua is not being there. Right. We just do things haphazardly. We come, if we come, if we don't come, so be it. But that's not the right attitude to have when it comes to the Most High's service or the Most High's work. Right? So people were rushing. They were trying to get to that place where Yahushua went. So they can get some healing, some blessings, some words of encouragement. Whatever it is that they find that they lack of or they have need of, they got to be there. Right? So that man was sick. One of the men, four of his friends, carry him on a stretcher, right, to the place where Yahushua was. When they got there, they was like, man, there's no way we can get in because it's pressed. The crowd was pressed. Right? So let me read on. It's verse 2. And straightway many were gathered together, and so much that there was no room to receive them. No, not so much as about the door. And he preached the word unto them. So not even in the door, wherever you just couldn't get in. If you weren't there, early, you wouldn't be able to get in. Verse 3. And they come unto him, bringing one sick of the palsy, which was born of four, meaning that 4 friends or 4 people carried that man, and he was paralyzed. So he was paralyzed, and they carried him on a stretcher. So now, how are they gonna get to the place if there's no room to even try to squeeze that man in? Because everybody's trying to get their blessings. So everybody's trying to get a cure. So you can imagine how many people were there that was sick and looking to get blessings or to get cured. And that instance was mentioned because of that action that particular person took. So when they saw that there's no way they can get in to the front door, we're gonna read in verse 4. And it says, and when they could not come nigh unto him for the press. When it says they could not come nigh unto him for the press, meaning that there's no way they could get to him because of the crowd. The crowd was very pressed. Everybody, it was very tight. It was very tight. You know, wherever you can get in, everybody had to squeeze themselves in. And there's no way this man would be able to get by. All right, so we're going to find out what happened. They uncovered the roof where he was. So they uncovered the roof where he was so they can make their own door, their own entrance to the house. You see what extent they went just to meet Yahushua? So if there was, that's being very creative on their part. So however the house was built, you know, they were able, you know, to pull took the cover off, just enough to drop in the man that was paralyzed. It says they uncovered the roof where he was, and when they had broken it up, they let down the bed wherein the sick of the palsy lay. So they drop him right down in there in the house. So you got to get in where you fit in. And that man, however way he got in, he wanted to meet Yahushua because he wanted to be here to get a cure. Verse 5. When Yahushua saw their faith, he said unto the sick of the palsy, Son, thy sin be forgiven thee. So when he see to the great extent they went to the go on the roof, uncover the roof, and drop him in, it was like, man, great is your faith. The faith means the work that he had to go through to get to him. All right, so faith is work. Right? Faith is work. Right, y'all, Kanan?
Faith without work. Yeah.
All right, get that scripture. Go to James, the second chapter, and you can read it.
So this be Mark chapter 2, verse 5. Huh?
Go on. Go to James.
Verse 17.
Go on.
James chapter 2, verse 17. Even so, faith, if it had not works, is dead, being alone.
So faith, if it has not worked, is dead, being alone. What does that mean, Patak?
Faith, you got to put some time in, whatever you got to do.
Give me an example of faith. And turn around so everybody in the conference line can hear you.
Faith. Or you got like you try to do something. You got to keep working at it. And try to get it the best to your ability.
All right, you got to keep working at it. So faith without work is dead. If you believe in something, you got to work at it and your work will prove that you have faith in what you believe in. If you say you believe in Yahushua, you're gonna put the work in, and the work in you gotta put in is keeping the laws, come to the holy days, right? Observe the dietary law, ceremonial laws, civil laws. We got to keep these laws. We got to do them. Then that's faith. You show faith in what you believe in. So these person here who was paralyzed, what work he did to show his faith? They went on top of the house. They uncovered the roof, right? It takes work to go on top of the house. You uncover the roof, and then they drop him in. That's faith. You put up some work in to get to Yahushua. He believed in Yahushua. He didn't just stay home, even though he believes. He believes, then he went in and put up some work. However way he got to get there, he's going to get in that house. Right? So that's faith. So that's belief in faith. He believed that Yahushua can cure him, but he could have said, man, yeah, I believe Yahushua can cure him, but I'm not going anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
He went and do the work, and even you see the persistence. However way he got in, he's gonna get in. The crowd could be pressed in the front. He see no way he's gonna get in that house. He find a way. Right. His friends find a way. But I'm sure his friends had to tell him, listen, there's no way we're gonna be able to get in. And he's like, you know what? I don't know. We're gonna get on top of the roof. Hey, he has to be in agreement. He could have said, nah. So if we cannot get in, just leave it alone. Him and his 4 friends, they were in agreement that they were gonna go on top of the house, they're gonna uncover the roof, and they're gonna drop him in. So, like they say, where there's a will, there's a way, right? So this man applied that saying, where there's a will, there's a way. All right. So who would have thought that they would have done that? Some would have said, man, all right, we're just not going to get in there. You're just going to be outside and hope that, Yahushua, think of me. Not that Yahushua didn't think of him. He knows everybody. He knew that the man was going to come before the man came. But the man exercising, get on the roof, it was an act to show that he had faith. So faith goes by action, right? By showing, what you can accomplish through faith. Yeah, how can I?
Hebrews 11 and 17.
Hebrews 11 and 17.
Hebrews 11, 17. By faith, Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac, and he that had received the promises offered up his only begotten son.
Right? They break it down.
Oh, by faith, yes, Abraham had faith, but yeah, so much faith at the Most High, and let him do, do something to demonstrate his faith,
right?
By offering up his only begotten son, as the promise was with Isaac, and the Most High told him to offer his son,
right?
And he had faith that the Most High. That he believed in the Most High so much that he would take the son and bind him up and to offer him to the Most High.
All right, so that shows faith on that man's part right there, and Yahushua acknowledged that. We back now to Mark chapter 2 in verse 5 again. And you says when Yahusha showed their faith, not just the man that was sick, but him along with the friends. Him along with the friends. The friends believe in Yahusha, and he himself, the sick man that was paralyzed, believe in Yahusha. So this explains why they got on the roof and uncovered the roof. They could have said, "Man, why? You know, I should have gotten there, you know, earlier. This and that. Listen, you already got there late. Listen, I'm gonna do what I got to do."
Right.
Yeah, determined. That's the word. Determined. He was determined that he was gonna get the cure. The man determined that he was gonna get healed. All right, so let's read verse 6 now. But there were certain of the scribes sitting there and reasoning in their hearts. At the same time, in the crowd, you don't know who's who.
Your input is invalid.
But Yahusha knew everybody. Some of the scribes, they sit there trying to figure out, you know, what's going on, trying to make sense of this whole thing, of Yahusha, trying to study it. But there were certain of the scribes sitting there and reasoning in their hearts. So they reasoning, they pretty much questioning themselves, trying to analyze what's going on. They questioning themselves. They try to make their mind work to figure out, you know, what can we make of this thing? Because this guy is so much, the crowd is big, and it's a lot of people. What is going on here? Verse 7. Why do this man thus speak blasphemies? So now they're asking themselves, why is this man speaking blasphemies? Meaning lies, wicked lies. Why Yahusha is speaking blasphemies? And why they say that he's coming blasphemies? Let's read on. They said, who can forgive sins but God only? So now it is always known that sin, the condition, sickness among us is, for the most part, or oftentimes, is associated with sin. When we suffer, we associate that with sin. Proven point is Deuteronomy, right? That is associated with sin. What we're going through is associated with sin. But is it always the case, though? Is it always the case that every sickness is associated with sin?
No.
No.
Like the man born blind.
Gone. But consciously in this man's mind, it might have been that it was associated with sin. His paralyzed. His sickness was associated with sin. Consciously, the man, he knew, consciously accept that he has been a sinner. So they made a connection between illness and sin. So it may have been in this case that the man's conscience agreed with why he was sick. So it may have been that his consciousness of sin also bring the condition that he was in. So that's why when they say that is the mind over matter, the power of the mind, especially the conscious mind, when it's full of sin consciously, it weighs down on your soul, it weighs down on you, and eventually you contemplate on it and you become sick. but it's not always the case. Let's go to Job 4 and 7. Because, 4 and 7. It was widely known and still is among the Jews that sickness is associated with sin. Job 4 and 7. I'm doing great. How are you? Go on. Job 4 and 7. More so link it with 5. Link it with verse 5. Job 4 and 7 link with 5. Sickness and sin. The relation. How often it is how often we relate sickness with sin. And Kahan Gabal, you can read that once you have it.
Job 4 and 7?
Go on.
Everybody say gun when they got it.
Job 4 and 7, I got it.
All right, Job 4 and 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perish, being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off?
All right. So this was the argument that Job's friends produced. This was the argument. When Job was very sick, they were trying to figure out what happened. And they said the innocent never perish. So which means if Job is going through this, it's because he sinned. He was not innocent. If he's going through that sickness and everything that he's going through, is because he sinned. Right? But in his case, that wasn't the case. Right? That wasn't the case. So it's not always that it is associated, but more often than not, it is associated.
Okay, that's the question I'm waiting.
And the Most I didn't have to explain why he went through that.
Absolutely not. Right? But in this man particular situation, when Yahushua said that sin has been forgiven thee, that's in the case where it was associated with sin. That sin has been forgiven. So now that's when the scribe, they like, man, who have power to forgive sin? To forgive sin is to get rid of your sickness. All right?
We're still lingering to this day right here?
Still lingering to this day right here. So now let's get another example in the book of John. And Yahukanan, you have a scripture?
Oh. I said when you read Deuteronomy 28, verse 15 on, the Most I warned us about.
Deuteronomy, you mentioned Deuteronomy.
Yeah, I mean, that the situation that we're in right now, the captivity, sickness, and all kinds of stuff.
Deuteronomy 28, 1 to 15, right? 15 on down?
15,
okay. 28 and 15 on down.
Yeah. Most I warn us all these things gonna befall us if we don't keep his laws. That's what we're going through these things right now.
All right. So going to the book of John, the 9th chapter. John chapter 9, verse 2 and 3. John and Patak Mowak. You can read that once you have it. John chapter 9, verse 2 to 3. Still linked with, actually linked with verse 7 now. Patak.
John chapter.
You might want to turn around because the conference line won't catch it. You might turn around, and if you want to, stand up and read it, that's even better.
John. John chapter 9, 2 and 3. And he said, and his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?
All right, so now here go a baby who was born blind. Again, it was already known that sickness is linked to sin. Sickness is linked to sin. In this case, it was not so. So it's not always the case. All right, so read verse 3.
Verse 3. Jesus answered, neither had this man sinned nor his parents, but that he works of God should be made manifest in him.
All right, so this was set up so that Yahushua would be able to do his work. So in this case, the baby born blind was not connected to sin. Just as we read in Job's case. So now there was a debate going on again with those guys, right? They were debating among themselves or within their mind. As they sit there trying to analyze what's going on, Yahushua had already knew their thoughts, right? Rather than they speak it out, Yahushua already knew their thoughts, and that's how powerful Yahushua was. He was able to read their thoughts because thoughts are things. Right? Thoughts are things. Everything that we see here in the physical was already thought out. Our own creation was already thought out. The greatest machine ever created, us, people, already thought out. So Yahushua was able to read their thoughts before they materialized. No,
I was going to read this passage.
So thoughts are things, so be careful what you're thinking.
Right? Like gloves?
Gone.
Jealousy.
They say what you think, you might get it. If you think you are Negro, you'll never get anywhere. Don't be surprised if your life is the way it is.
Right. Never get them.
Right.
But they positive.
Go ahead.
If we think that even after we get the scriptures, we still think that we it's captivity, we'll never do anything, because everything we touch that we find challenging and it doesn't work, we're gonna think it's the captivity, so we're not gonna do it.
Right.
Go ahead. Me, just me. I knew I was going to go get my Class A license.
Right.
From here to Iowa, I ain't gonna wait out there for nothing. I had my mind made up.
Done.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get that.
You're gonna go get
it. Now I'm sitting here being for real. I said I ain't going out here for
Exactly. So that's it. Once you already put it in your head,
Yeah, in his mind.
For real. He's gonna do it.
Right. He
I'm gonna
did.
stay here, fellas. Smith Asylum, real easy. Or USA, state road, for real, whatever. I gotta go out here and get this. Police. For
Yeah,
real.
determination. Yeah,
Gun.
determination, Bakwa.
Gun. You got to make up your mind to think righteous thinking. Right? Righteous thinking.
Right.
He's there. Why smile? That's right. You both smile, bro. You ain't no mad about it. You see a person walk around mad all the time?
Right.
They think it in their head right there. That's they go to.
Right.
You see my walk around mad all the time. Yeah, that's how your life is thinking all the time.
Right.
As soon as I get that word, no. Come on, man. We go to Bible class, man.
Right. Something, things just happen. Things doesn't just happen. It's already in the mind. It just came out. You see the mind, it materialized after contemplating, it must be born. So if you dwell on it, eventually some action is gonna lead to another action. Boom. You're like, man, I can't believe I did this. Yeah. You dwell on it so long, it must happen.
Right.
My brother here just made a statement. What you say about the bullets they shooting outside?
Yeah, you can remember.
We was up 74 with Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
They right, see this stuff, Saint. We on the corner out there. Bullets and everything. Blood. Was you there that night? Well, Ben and all of us was there. About 9 of us was in it. They was outside shooting ungodly. When they opened the door, you see the shells and the blood. Ben and Rob, Gary, all of them. Well, God bless them. Cops came there, about 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
May I help you? And he looked down at all of us and loved all of us reading the Bible. Cops stood there about 2 or 3 minutes, walked out the door and shut the door and left. And my man kept on reading. So when you said that, they went right to my head.
Right.
We was in here reading the Bible.
Right.
And they thought they shooting for real.
So now let's read Proverbs 22 and 7.
Huh?
Just to get facts.
Proverbs.
Proverbs
Okay.
Proverbs.
5 and 7.
23 and 7.
There you go. Thank you, Rodney. Bar.
Proverbs.
Bencha, you can read it once you have it.
25.
23 and 7.
23 and
23 and 7.
And sometimes, it's very, very careful that we don't say that the Most High did it or the Most High doing it to me.
Can't blame Most High for nothing.
Nothing.
Whatever we do, does for me.
We're responsible, right?
Right.
Proverbs 23, 7.
Mhm.
Son?
Son.
Wait,
Son.
Brother Dave.
But I was, but I'm getting it. Con.
Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7. For as he thinks in his heart, so he is.
That's it. That's the part that I want right here. So as he thinking in his heart or in his mind, so he is. How you think, that's how you are.
Oh, okay.
You are a direct reflection of what you're thinking. Plain and simple. That's all it is. We may accept it and may not accept it. That's the way it is.
Okay. That's what it matters.
Eat and drink. Say he to thee, but his heart is not with thee.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean there?
Huh?
What does that mean?
Which one? Which one?
The second part, eat and drink.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling you to eat and drink, but he don't really want you to eat and drink.
No. Somebody may be here sitting and eating with you, but they're not really thinking about you. They're thinking about you either doing something to you. They're not your friend.
Yeah. Right underneath.
Right? This is just an example.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's just a prime
yeah.
Yeah, his mind is, he could be sitting here, but his mind is far. He's plotting something in his mind.
Okay.
And you often see that with people. They doze off, they far away. They here, but they not here.
Yeah, you're not here.
Their mind is somewhere else.
I give you a prime example.
Plotting, no, that's not, I'm just giving you just an
I
example.
give you a prime example.
Just an example. His mind is, somebody might be sitting here, they talking to you, but their mind is somewhere else. It's completely on something else.
Wow. A prime example is that brother that you come here, name is Terrell. He comes here when he's drinking.
Right.
You know, his purpose is to come here and trying to, trying to get something out. Think that he can get something. You know what I mean? He's drinking. His mind not really where he's supposed to be because he wouldn't be drinking coming in here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he come in and try to, tolerate us, or to discourage us in some kind of way until somebody put him in his place and tell him he got the robe.
Yeah, you're right though.
All right, so enough on that.
All right.
Move on. Verse 7, right? Let's go back to Mark.
Okay.
And another question that I had earlier this morning, which is the first book of the gospel? No, don't say it. Which is the first book of the gospel in the New Testament, in the gospel?
Matthew.
Matthew? Okay. Matthew, right?
That's a little tricky right here.
Let's go to Mark 1:1. All right, that's the beginning of the gospel.
Oh, yeah.
Mark 1:1. So the book of Mark is the beginning of the gospel. Matthew start telling you the generation of Yahushua. But the beginning of the gospel is Mark.
What you say about Matthew?
Matthew start by telling you the generation of Yahushua. Even though they start with Matthew, but Mark is the beginning of the gospel.
Mark is the beginning
of the gospel. And you read Mark 1:1 and you get it.
Glad you told me, bro.
Mark 1:1. Anybody read it?
Mark, everybody got it?
No,
All right. It's only few words. Go ahead. You can read it.
All right. Mark 1:1. The beginning of the gospel of Jesus Christ, the Son of God.
That's it. That's the beginning of the gospel. All right. So back to Mark chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll read 7 again. It said, why do this man does speak blasphemies? Why this guy is lying? That's pretty much what they say.
Okay.
Why this man lying? Who can forgive sins? But God only. It's only Yahushua can forgive sin. How he tells the guy, pick up, your sin has been forgiven. Pick up and walk.
Right. It said no more.
Right. So who has that power? This man is lying. So now that was the beginning of the plot.
Right.
They wanted to plot against Yahushua because jealousy comes in.
Came in the picture.
Jealousy coming because when you see so many people following after you, I mean, they see so many people following after Yahushua, man, jealousy kicks in. What the hell is going on with this man? That's so many people. There's no room expressed. There's so many people.
Right.
Who is this guy?
Who is he?
Who is he? Right? We the scribes. We know the words. We can teach the word. Why are they going after him?
That's some guys I was talking about last week.
Mm-hmm.
Say they came again? The Pharisees?
The scribes.
The scribes?
Mhm.
Guys.
Right? The scribes and the Pharisees. So it says, who can forgive sin but God only? Verse 8. And immediately when Yahushua perceived in his spirit that they saw reason within themselves, he said unto them. So he perceived. Yahushua perceived. You can only perceive with your spirit or your mind. So Yahushua perceived with his spiritual mind. He project, right? He project what he saw out, right? So when he see what they thinking, so now he's gonna bring it out.
Right.
It said immediately when Jesus perceived in his spirit that they saw reason within themselves, he said unto them, why reason ye these things in your hearts? So why are you thinking of these things? How did he know? Because his spirit can read their spirit.
Read their spirit, what they thinking.
What they thinking about.
Right.
So he go exactly straight to the point and say, listen, why are you thinking these things?
Right. Why are you thinking negative?
Why are you thinking negative in your mind? Why are you thinking these things in your mind? Right? So let's see what happened next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, verse 8.
Verse 9 now.
Yeah.
It said, whether is it easier to say to the sick of the palsy, thy sins be forgiven thee, or to say, arise and take up thy bed and walk? Which one you want? Would it be better for me to say your sin has been forgiven thee, or just to tell them pick up thy bed and walk? Which one would you want?
Your sin has been forgiven.
Your sin has been forgiven.
That's what he told me. This man was letting down in how to get it from people. Bigger than
So immediately I shall see that spirit and know what they thinking, and you brought it out.
I wish I got right to the point.
Yeah. They were debating in their head. I'm waiting for you to shine. So, you know, at that point back then, you had people who were set up, right, to guard against the Pharisees, against the Pharisees' doctrine. So anybody that come in, right, and try to go do something different than what they were doing, they had like, hitmen right out there, try to get you. Now, I mean, I'm trying to find out what is this man into. So you see people in the crowd, you got traders in the crowd,
right,
trying to figure out what's going on.
What's going on? Yeah. Always like that.
Oh, yeah, you can do it always like that.
Right? So figure out what's going on. So in that crowd, you had people who trying to figure out what this guy is up to and try to stop him on his track before he even become too popular.
Just like when we be out in the street with the people, there's people be trying to figure this out because they see quite a few of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What's going on with them?
Right.
You know what I mean? Let me get somebody over here
Mm-hmm.
and ask some questions to find out what's going on. Some people, you know, they walk on by, I ain't interested. Leave that shit alone. And then you might find somebody say, well, let me find out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then when they do, they be surprised.
So a miracle like this, Pharisees probably they never done something like this, and taught somebody to do something, such a marvelous miracle. The men just pick up and walk. That's it. This was a threat to the Pharisees.
Right.
Big threat, because they never seen anything like this before.
Okay.
How are you gonna come back from that? How are you gonna make a comeback? So now they had to defame him, find out something to put on him.
Right.
Today.
Right.
Power.
He
Right.
got too much
Too
power.
much power.
And the thing about it, he let it happen.
Mm-hmm. We in Mark, the second chapter. Right now we at the 9th verse.
Right. Yeah, he had to do it. I think it took myself.
And keep in mind also, they might have first row seat too, because people know them when they see this guy. So open the crowd so that they can get in, so they can get front seat.
Oh, okay.
Right? The regular people, they couldn't get in as easily that they could.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they renowned men in the Jew, you know, around the Jews. You know what I mean? So they had their court set up and everything. So they are the high officials.
Right.
Right? Even though the general population, people who were sick couldn't get in,
Right.
but they were right there, critically analyze what Yahushua is doing right that in it.
Wait.
Right. So front row seat.
Listen to what he's saying.
What he's saying. So Yahushua in their mind was a false prophet.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Yeah, you know, they voicing their opinion of what they're gonna say. You know what I mean? Even though it's the wrong thing what they're saying, but that's what they believe.
Right.
The chief priest probably sent them.
Right.
Right.
So they truly believe, they had no understanding of Yahushua. They truly believe that only the Most High, you know, that can forgive sin. For Yahushua who came out and said that sin be forgiven thee, that's it, man. False prophets.
Mm-hmm.
False prophet. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So in their mind, that's a false prophet right there. Only God can forgive sin.
Right, not
Yahushua.
Not him. Not him.
So any man who claimed to do something like that was considered as blasphemy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they said, why this man, you know, blasphemy? Gone. So what happened to when you blaspheme? Right. So they were ready to apply the sentence of a blasphemer. Mm-hmm. It must be killed. So that's when Yahushua right there was already a dead man walking. From that point right there, that's the beginning of him, dead man walking.
Yeah. In jail. Walking in the hallway.
But they use the scriptures though. You see how they use the scriptures? Mm-hmm. If you lie, yes, you're a blasphemer, but Yahushua was not a blasphemer. He's the Son of Man. Mm-hmm. But they don't believe in him.
Right.
They claim to believe in the Mosai, but if they believe in the Mosai, they have to believe in Yahusha.
But they refuse not to
Right.
believe it.
And if you blaspheme, the wages of sin is death. Yes, you got to get killed. So they use that wrongly to accuse Yahusha so they can kill him. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 24, verse 16.
Leviticus.
Yeshaya, read it once you have it. Leviticus 24, 16.
Leviticus 24:16. And he that blasphemeth the name of the power, he shall surely be put to death.
That's it. So that means they took Yahusha's statement as a liar, as a blasphemer. So he blasphemed the name of the Most High.
As he lied.
Right. That's it. If there's more to that, yeah, go ahead.
All the congregation shall certainly stone him.
Okay, all the congregation has
Oh, the whole lot of people, man.
Oh, lie.
certainly. That's the operative word here. Certainly, without a doubt, stone him. There's no questions asked. There's no there's no question. Certainly, stone him. So they could have like used the same crowd, to blaspheme him, but that was not the time. Right now they just come to investigate, to collect information. They come for investigation. Okay, now we got something on him. He blasphemed.
He telling lies.
Yeah, the thing with Jezebel, writing the letter, had this man, 1 Kings 21:10. And it says, and said two men, sons of
Where you are?
1 Kings 21:10.
21:10.
It's right there.
Yeah, yeah, 1 Kings 21:10, and said two men, sons of Belial, before him to bear witness against him, saying, Thou didst blaspheme God and the king, and then carry him out and stone him, that he may die. And then verse 11, and the men of his city, even the elders and the nobles who were the inhabitants in his city, did as Jezebel had said unto them, and as it was written in the letter which she had sent unto them.
Right.
Because of blasphemy, because of the letter she writes, so that's blasphemy. So
this is an example of exercising this law.
Who was Jezebel? Who was she?
Ask Yahukanan.
Who was she?
Jezebel was Ahab's wife.
Oh. She got a wife, so she had to get something on the house.
One divided man do that. It was supposed to leave
Right. So pretty much the Most High, attacked them on their own ground, on their own belief. Right? He pretty much take them on their own belief. They believe that if the man is sick, it's because he sinned. So by him saying your sin has been forgiven thee, he knew that they were in the crowd. He knew what they were thinking. So he took him the challenge right in front of them. But mainly the reason why he did it, because he knew his time was not ready to go. So they ain't gonna kill him right then and there.
Right. Well, he knew everything about what his time was gonna come.
So that's why he took up that challenge. He could have easily said, you know, pick up and walk. But because they were there, he knew their thinking. He challenged him right then and there. That sin has been forgiven. So let's go back to Mark.
Mhm.
2:10. It says, but that ye may know that the Son of Man have power on earth to forgive sins. And you remember earlier we said, Yahweh shall call himself the Son of Man. This is it right there in the book of Mark. So he called himself the Son of Man, meaning son of the flesh. Son of the flesh, made like unto us. Son of Man. Okay? So the Son of Man have power on earth to forgive sins. He said to the sick of the palsy, he said to the sick of the palsy. Verse 11, I say unto thee, arise and take up thy bed and go thy way into thine house. So after that, he told them,
input is invalid.
he made the point to speak to them directly, right? To make a point, and then he told the man, pick up thy bed and walk to your house. So he gave them both. So he got he gave him the first one that triggered them, and then he told him the second one that he told him which one would be easier. He told him pick up that bed. So pick one. So now that you have it. But of course they're gonna pick the part where he says that sin has been forgiven, because that's what they're looking for.
Right.
And immediately he arose, took up the bed, and went forth before them all. And so much that they were all amazed and glorified power, saying, we never saw it on this fashion. That's it, man. That's new thing that just happened. Something new. And we never seen this happen. That's new. We never see this in this fashion, in this manner. So imagine that. They came to find out what Yahusha was up to, and they saw something that they could never think about. He just gave him a little show. All right, go and report to your people. So 11, it says, I say unto thee, he has power to forgive sin. Right? And it says, and immediately he arose, took up the bed, and went forth before them all, and so much that they were all amazed and glorified power, saying, we never saw it on this fashion. Beautiful thing, right? Yeah, outshot smart. All right, so let's move on. Verse 12 now. Verse 13, actually.
Verse 13, yeah.
And he went forth again by the seaside. So now he's still freestyling. That was his time not to freestyle. He was giving him something. So, you know, again, we said Yahushua came in, he has the right of passage. He had authority. Whatever he was doing with authority, right? Whatever he was doing, he was given power by the Most High. So that's why he said the Son of Man has power to forgive sin on earth and in heaven.
Right.
So he got the keys.
He has the keys. Yeah.
Fine. On that, let's get a quick scripture. St. John 5:22.
St. John 5:22.
Khan. And Kahan Gobar, you can read it once you have it.
Everybody say God when they got it.
All right.
All right, St. John 5:22. For the Father judges no man, but has committed all judgment unto the Son.
That's it. So imagine if the Most High, right, committed judgment. Let's say you're a judge. You can let a person go, or you can give a favorable verdict, or you can condemn the person. So you can forgive him, or you can let him go.
Right.
Right? For example, Yahushua is acting on behalf of the Most High.
Right.
For example, me in my line of business, I get power of attorney for my client, right? So when I get a power of attorney, I'm acting as the client. The client is not there, but I'm acting as if I'm the client. Whatever decision I make, as if the client made the decision.
Oh, okay.
So I get power of attorney. So Yahushua has power of attorney over what the Most High, over his property, right? So he's acting on the power of the Most High. So whatever he says goes.
Right.
Right, so that's how you get the power. So hearing from Yahushua is like hearing from the Most High.
Hear from the Most High.
Right, so that's why he has power of judgment. So all power is given unto him to forgive sins. Right, and that's how he's able to do what he's doing. Right, he is power to judge. That was John 5:22. So judgment is committed, then forgiveness is committed too. So it's both. Judgment is committed unto him, and forgiveness also must be committed unto him. So the Most High delegate his power to Yahushua. Power delegation.
A whole lot.
A whole lot of power.
War.
So if you hear if you hear Yahushua say something, there's none other but than the Most High.
That's the Most High speaking.
Yeah. And he deliberately tell you my word is not my own. It's not my own word. I'm just acting on behalf of my Father. That's pretty much what he's telling me. The word that I speak, it's not his word. He's speaking the word, but the word is the Most High's word, but he's acting on behalf of the Most High.
Right. As it's supposed to be.
Done. All right, so Everything that you see Yahushua speak, him walking, it's just as if the Most High was there. So you see the Most High displayed in Yahushua. Whatever Yahushua was doing is just as if the Most High was doing it. Yet they are two separate entities. So the attitude that Yahushua displayed, that's the same attitude that Yahushua. The same attitude Yahushua displays, the same attitude that the Most High has. So it's the attitude of the Most High to men. It's Yahushua. You got a scripture, Yahukanan? Right? So the attitude that Yahushua has is the direct opposite what men thought the attitude that Yahushua should have. But which is exactly how the Most High would do it.
John chapter 14, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
That's what I read it.
14, verse 8.
Yeah, it says, Philip said unto him, Lord, show us the Father, and it suffices us.
Yeah? Uh-huh.
And verse 9, Jesus said unto him, Have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that had seen me had seen the Father.
That's it. That's it.
And how sayest thou then, show us the Father?
That's it. That's it. If you see Yahushua, it's just like you see the Most High.
Right.
That was excellent.
Yeah, that was good.
John 14
That
and
sound
8.
like those right now today. Show me.
And the characteristics, the Most High.
You don't need to see the Most High. You see Yahushua, it's just like you see the Most High.
You see the Most High. I understand. Understand.
Never been here, right?
You never seen it.
The Most High personally never been here,
Never been
like as a physical.
Right.
But if you see Yahushua, it's direct reflection of the Most High.
Yeah, that's what I get out of it.
In one accord.
So, but
They in one accord, acting on behalf as, like I said, the power of attorney. So all power has been vested unto Yahushua by the Most High.
Right.
but in the very end, he comes.
Most High.
Most High?
Actual Most High, right?
No, we be all dead.
In the very, very end, to judge everybody at the end, right?
You see what we read in John 5:22? All judgment is given to Yahushua.
He gonna judge everything.
Right, but that's a final judgment.
Yahushua will be doing everything. Keep in mind, we speaking about patience last night. Everything that happened to Yahushua, he's gonna be judging all the people and avenge all those people that did the stuff to him.
That's gonna be the
So just imagine how long this man been waiting
right to get his revenge.
to get his revenge.
Right.
Look how long, all the nail and all the beating that he get. You see how long he wait to get back to those people.
Right, he waiting.
That's a stupid statement.
Right, and now we thinking about we had it bad. We can't wait.
He waiting on many, like the Indians say, many.
Right, and he's getting to get paid back. He's going to pay them back for what they did to him,
Right.
which he was not even. He did not even do the stuff that is. So just imagine, you gotta wait for all that long for something that you did not do.
Right.
To get repaid.
Right.
Just imagine that.
And like you say, Yahushua gonna be doing all the judges.
Right.
Like he be, like you say, the power of attorney for the Most High.
Right. So all
Nobody see
judgment,
the Most
right?
High.
All judgment is given unto him in John 5:22. He's gonna be judging and all the
Everybody.
judgment with the 12
He gonna
tribes.
do everything. Because you see Yahushua, you see the Most High. Okay. Put that in mind.
Right.
I just want to read Exodus 33 and 20. Exodus 33 and 20 says, and he said, thou canst not see my face, for there shall no man see me and live. So the Most High not going to come down here because we be all dead on the earth.
Okay.
Yeah, that explains.
Well,
That explains
I'm
why.
gonna piggyback on him. That's who I thought was gonna come down here and do all the judgment.
What happened?
Wow, so who's going to have his garment in Isaiah 62, his garment with in blood?
Okay, I'm glad he said that, because that's who I thought was
That's
going.
your shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I just thought, well,
Yeah, there you go. I was taught that.
You read
the
Psalms
actual
2?
end,
Because
the
God.
most, the actual most high is coming down
Right.
and judging, final judgment.
Hey, thank you. Look, man,
That's
that's it.
what I was
I
talking
Right.
gotta tell my kids.
We probably always thought that in some kind of way, far as that type of understanding. But when you get the real verse in the Bible,
What about that
When you
verse
get the
that
big
Daniel
verse
said? Hold
in
on.
the Bible.
Where it said, I behold, the ancient of days did sit, and the thrones was cast down. Where's that happening at?
He's sick up in heaven.
And on the throne's going up there, and the
Nobody
throne
can
down
see
by
the
his feet.
Most High, David.
Let's read that verse real quickly, Daniel.
All right, let's get that verse. Let's get that verse.
was it Daniel what?
7.
Daniel?
It was Daniel 7, right?
7 and
Yeah,
9.
Daniel 7 and 9.
Daniel 7 and 9.
I'm gonna go after
You
him.
want the Most High to come down here. No.
You know, we all be dead.
Yeah, well, you probably right like that.
So after that, y'all can read Exodus 33 and 20 again. All right, the same one you read after you read Daniel. Daniel, what chapter and verse?
7.
7 and 9.
Who wants to read? You read.
You could read it.
All right, Daniel 7 and 9. Everybody got it? Oh,
I'm good.
I'm gonna go after y'all, because I'm gonna know, this is what I thought it was right here, Psalm 110. Yeah. Is there one verse? Okay, get it.
Daniel 7. Okay. Con.
All right, Daniel 7 and 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the fur of wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands and thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. I beheld them because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld even till the beast was slain and his body destroyed and given to burning flame. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time.
Okay, where you gonna stop at?
We're gonna stop right after Jesus comes in.
Okay.
Okay, 13. You go ahead. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Okay. So somebody saw the Ancient of Days. They said thousands. What were they talking about? Are those angels ministering and singing? Okay, so they ain't us.
That's the
Is that us or they ain't us? That's
not us.
That's the angels, yeah.
That's angels, okay. It's like that in Psalm 52. You go tell the people to wake up. The thrones are those like the kings of the earth? Who are the thrones that was cast down?
Carries down the thrones is our kingdom.
The throne?
The
What,
throne
our kingdom?
is our kingdom, yes.
When you say our kingdom, I'm saying you talking about all the kings of earth?
No, the kingdom of Israel.
The king of Israel.
The 12 tribes? When you say cast down, like he took the kings of earth and threw them to the ground.
Let's read it again. Let's read it again.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the ancient of days did sit. So it seems like you throwing something to the ground by casting something down.
The throne were cast down. So, I mean, the whole point we try to make is here is about Yahweh, right?
Right. But that's the ancient of days, God.
Right. So now, when we talking about Yahweh, the Mosai said, "Can no man see me and live?"
Right.
Right. And all judgment is given to Yahushua. So,
See, that's what I'm saying. It's not. I thought it was after Yahweh judged. Then we go to the wilderness, right? We come back, I guess. They go over, and that's when we from the kingdom. But then it's the final judgment when Yahweh comes. That's what I thought.
okay.
So we ain't gonna see him at all.
So we'll be already changed. You know what I'm saying? New bodies by that time.
He gave them the language.
Brother George, what he's
You know
saying,
what I'm saying?
our body be made a different change
Right.
when Yahweh shall come back.
You got this nice face right now. You see, you say how you look.
No, I'm thinking about all the scriptures I want to bring out, and that would deviate the whole chapter of Mark.
What will you come back to? Okay. Let's finish up.
Fine.
Yeah,
Okay, Mark?
We can do it at break time, Kwame.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, because let's go to Mark. Let's go back to Mark.
Back to Mark, yeah. Back to Mark.
That was good, y'all.
Let's go back to Mark.
Back to Mark.
What verse we on now?
14.
14.
Mark.
Okay, actually, I'll read 13 again. It says, and he went forth again by the seaside, and all the multitude resorted unto him, and he taught them. So now, wherever he goes, the words already travel. The word already travel of all the marvelous work that he's been doing. So wherever you see this man now, he's a celebrity.
Right.
It does not take much time for the crowd to just gather wherever he was.
Right. Well, they're gonna be discussing and talking about him and everything.
Seems like black people.
Like that, you know what I mean?
Fine.
That's what he's doing now.
Because everybody was sick. Everybody who have some kind of sickness.
Right.
You know, listen, you get a headache. You know, yeah.
I need him. I need him.
You know?
Let me get up there. Yeah. I need him. I gotta get there.
Yeah, imagine how many people in the hospitals, right? Who's sick.
Came out.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So imagine every time somebody's sick, they know there's a doctor that I can go to, I can get cured.
Let me go.
And it's only one doctor. It's only one doctor that gotta see all these patients. Just imagine how much you got people who's sick, and you got people who's bringing the sick, right? And you got people who, spectators who want to see what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So you have all kinds of people in the crowd. You have naysayers, and then you have investigators. You have all kinds of people.
Right.
It's like that.
Right.
Same thing.
It's like that.
It just all he does repeat itself.
And the doctor's gonna be bad as hell. Yeah. Who you think you gotta go? That's like private clothes too.
To the point, man. Yeah.
So Mama said he bends. Y'all can't pay this note now. He gotta go.
House with the pool.
Yeah, right.
He's a silver cat. He don't want to take one another. Now, this is a conversation. People probably went to the hospital, whatever you call it back there.
Yeah.
Probably went there. This man was dying. Well, yeah, he over there playing kickball with his grandkids now. For real. Activities.
But then keep in mind also, right? Now there's a war going on right there.
Yeah, that's a real war.
Yeah.
You're supposed to go teach in the synagogue.
Right.
So now the man is going everywhere now start teaching.
Yeah. People following.
That's it. This guy just breaking protocol.
Yeah. Doing what he's doing what he
Now
wants
he's
to do.
going by the seaside, by the lakeside, you know, wherever the man find people gather, he start teaching.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna stop people from going to the synagogue, you know, even to bring offerings and money. That is like breaking the whole breaking the whole system.
Bring the whole system.
Nobody show up on Sunday.
Right.
No, but he's accepting.
So now everybody's looking where your house is instead of looking for the temple,
Right.
looking for the synagogue.
Following your house shop.
He ride that donkey. He got bad fruit. Yeah.
But he's
okay.
accessible to everybody.
Right.
He's out there in the midst of everybody.
Right.
They were able to touch him, even the woman at the issue of the blood, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Touch
touch his garment.
his garment.
Yeah.
He touched his garment. Yeah.
Yeah, so now the war has been declared now. The war has been declared. Yeah. Yeah, this man gotta go.
Niger. His name was
He
Niger.
gotta go.
Niger. It's in the Bible, Niger. So somebody got drunk with nerve. What's already you?
So now, like the open air now. The open air is the church. Synagogue can only hold but so much of people. So this guy's gonna have too many people now.
He got
Right.
mountains and
Right.
Yeah, too many people now. You know, the crowd can be anywhere. And remember, Yahushua's voice is loud.
Yeah.
Oh, you got loud voice.
Yeah.
Right? That's one thing that worked to his advantage. His voice is loud, so a lot of people. He still can, catch the crowd.
Microphone, check 1 2 1 2.
Right. Yeah, he had a loud voice. He's his own microphone.
For real. Yeah, we do. Quite a loud mouth, man.
Yeah.
Okay. What do I got
Yeah,
there?
this man is. It was a problem. They see him as a problem.
Threat.
The threat. Yeah.
Real threat. He ain't had to vote for him. God sent him.
Yep.
He gonna win all the matches.
Automatic.
See
Win the battle.
why they hate us now.
Yeah. The man will be on the hill now. The hill is his pulpit.
Only know.
Is his pulpit? Is his
Yeah.
hill? You know.
And you know what? He knows this. He knows that we are powerful, but we don't have the knowledge to do it. But it's proven in all sports. You know what I mean, Paqua?
Mm-hmm.
It's proven in all sports.
Right. So he pretty much was doing, taking their place. Competition breeds bloodshed.
Hey, Paqua, how come you didn't read in Hebrew?
Huh?
How come when you usually read the Bible, you usually read in Hebrew?
Oh no, I don't read the I don't read the Hebrew. Yeah. That's Yahukanan,
But Dr. Show, he ain't that bad.
and I'm waiting for you to
Good.
I'm waiting for you to pick up.
You should read before.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to pick up. Maybe you can read for me.
Get busted.
Yeah.
You gonna read for him.
I'm trying to get it together, Paqua.
Go ahead.
You gonna get it. Go get it next time.
I'm trying to get it together.
Go on. So let's read on the 15th verse now. Actually 14. And as he passed by, he saw Levi, the son of Alphaeus, sitting at the receipt of custom, and said unto him, "Follow me." And he arose and followed him.
That's right there.
Just with that heavy voice, I guess so. Follow me.
Yeah, and not only that, Yahushua, the man that's doing miracles, said, "Follow me." That's it, man. I'm in. I'm in. So I'm already sold. I'm sold.
Microphone.
I'm gone.
He had a microphone.
I'm
voice.
sold. I don't have to worry about being sick or anything like that. As long as I'm walking with you, and that's it, man. I'm in.
I'm thinking that Howard Shaw had a microphone voice.
Yeah.
The voice was
Projected voice.
real loud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You hear, you know, like you hear on the microphone out there when they be speaking. You must have a voice something like that.
And he had a big time job, right? To get this.
Cool. Yeah, it was a receiver custom, and that was big. No, yeah, it was a big because every time ship come in, every time the ship come in, that's big money. You got to collect, right? You know, and receive a custom. That's where, you know, all the ships come in and dock, and all the merchandise, you know, commerce is taking place.
Yeah.
And now this man just give up that job. He said, "I'm out." I said, "I'm out."
You heard that heavy voice, I guess so. Follow me.
Multitude people following them.
No, it's on your face. That face, yeah, you look on it. Say right there, L-E-V-I, Levi. Yeah, he stole it. Yeah, he stole it. Come with me if you want to live.
Come with me.
All right, so let's go 16 verse now. Yahushua and his disciples, 15. And it came to pass that as Yahushua sat at meat in his house, many publicans and sinners sat also together with Yahushua and his disciples. So now he's in his house, right? Yahushua has his own house.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a Levi house or the house.
It says, and he rose and followed him. And it came to pass that as Yahushua sat at meat in his house,
His own house.
many publicans and sinners sat also together with Yahushua and his disciples.
So he went to his own house.
That's what it says.
What was his address?
I think that was it.
Levi?
Right, they say he had the son of man that had no place to lay his head. So he had to leave our house.
Well, where he laid his place,
There was his.
that was his head. That was his house. Just like Papa was a rolling stone.
That's right.
So now,
Yeah. That's where he said he
But
got the verse from.
you guys getting too much.
Wherever he laid his head.
All right, let's get back to
He
it.
said, for there were many, right? So now Yahushua sit down, and there was publicans and sinners there, right? This disciple, there were many and the followers that followed him. And when the scribes and Pharisees saw him eat with publicans and sinners, they said unto his disciples, how is it that he eateth and drinketh with publicans and sinners? Right? And it may as well be, you know, the publican's house or Levi house. You know, that could be as well. Right? It says he's sitting and eating with them.
So he went over their house.
Possibly.
It could have been him, but I don't think, I ain't gonna say that.
Even though he said he went over their house, it was considered his house.
Right. Right. So what we want to get from this one here is sitting with publicans and sinners. Huh? What do you guys see here in this verse? He's sitting with publicans and sinners.
Publicans and sinners, yeah.
Show
So how's he eating and drinking
talking
with
with
publicans and sinners? With sinners.
And not only that, keep in mind, publicans, they were not well liked.
Yeah.
Just like tax people don't like the IRS.
Right.
Okay. They was like that. Considered.
Right. They weren't publicans, people that collect taxes, they didn't like them too much. Nah, they didn't like them. Right? Because what happened is the thing with taxes, you never knew how much you gotta pay. You know what I mean?
Shit, that'll make you mad.
Yeah, you never know how much you gotta pay. You know?
Oh, you gotta pay
people up
something.
right back then.
Yeah, you
Pay
know.
my taxes, give Caesar his taxes or else.
Well, you know, just like
Yeah, because sometimes they extracted as much as they could.
you know, like
Yeah.
Yeah, as much as they could, because they don't know when they're gonna collect from you again. You know.
Y'all follow this guy right
Yeah.
here.
what? Just like the Roaring 20s,
Uh-huh.
where you know the gangsters
Uh-huh.
go around get the poor people and make them pay money. Same type thing.
Same type thing.
Same type thing.
And it's in literacy house.
You know what I mean? You better pay.
Right. So that was the name for the publicans, the tax collectors.
Tax collector.
Wife, it was,
Gotta pay.
so you can pretty make money off.
Right. And you know, wherever you taxation collection, it has to be well regulated because the same people that's collecting taxes collecting for their pocket too.
Right.
You know.
That's right.
They gotta get paid. They gotta get paid.
Right, because after
get
they
paid.
make sure the law is met, you know, they kept the portion for the taxes for for the king.
You gotta get something.
Now they gotta get something for their pocket, so they get as much. So that's why they didn't like him that much.
Yeah.
So that's why when they see, well, how this guy sitting with publicans and sinners, you know, publicans and sinners, you know, publican they were not, you know,
Not likable.
well liked. They're not likable.
He
He said, I'm not like this public. Remember that? He went up there?
Mm.
Like this public.
So Yahusha, in a way, he gravitate to help those that nobody liked. You know, those hated ones.
Mhm.
All right, so it's the same way today. We are the hated ones. Israel is the hated ones, right?
Right.
If you go remembrance of Israel.
Kind. So at that time, people knew mostly who they were. They knew their nationality. There wasn't confusion of nationality back then.
Oh, what?
So now what was it's the people that people don't like. So the publican was the people that people don't like. Right? And then sinners also, you didn't want to associate yourself with sinners.
Right.
So Yahushua pretty much wanted to make a point with the publican and the sinners. So now that's when the Pharisees, they saw that. They saw, you know, what's going on here?
Mhm.
Something don't match.
Right.
Something don't match here. You're supposed to keep yourself separate. If you're supposed to be a holy man or God's people, you shouldn't be seen in public with these people.
Right.
Verse 17. When Yahushua heard it, he said unto them, they that are whole have no need of the physician. So if you're sick, if you're not sick, you're in good health. Why do you need doctors?
You need it.
If you well, why do you need doctors? But they that are sick, so those that are sick, they need the doctor, right? He's making a point there. I came not to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance. So therefore, he was the doctor for the sinners.
Right.
So he came to those who need him.
Mhm.
Not that he didn't need people, but he goes specifically to those that need. So why would you go to some place you're not needed? So he goes to people who need him. So he went to the sinners and the publicans.
Right.
He said, I came not to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance.
Mhm.
But if you think that you know already, you're the scribes and the Pharisees, you think you got the law, you perfect. So why should I go to you?
Right.
What's the point? Let me go to a place where I'm needed. Right? So you know it all already. You're the scribes. Right? So, why should I stay with you? I got to go to people that need my service.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be Luke 18, verse 10.
Luke 18, verse 10.
Talking about the two men.
Luke 18, And
Verse
10.
10. It said, two men went up into the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a publican. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, God, I thank thee that I am not as other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this publican.
Yeah, that's to show you. Yep.
I ain't like this right.
And just be there when you point, make sure you point.
Because you see, like, yeah, if you're a publican, nobody have anything to do with you. And sometimes when this guy see Yahweh, when Yahweh said, "Come on and follow me," who knows? Yahweh will see this man's heart is heavy. He don't like the job, but he got to do it. He's looking for a way out, but where he's gonna go. So when Yahweh say, "Hey, follow me," this guy was like, "Man, that's it. I'm out. I'm quit. I quit. I quit. I quit." You know.
Somebody else can do it.
Yeah, somebody else can do it.
Right.
So he's like, so much people don't like you. You doing the work, but in that part of town, you're not liked. You know. When Yahweh came, it was like something. That's what you were waiting for.
You heard that loud voice. That's it.
That's it. I'm out.
Come on and follow me.
Opportunity.
Go ahead. He sees the opportunity. Opportunity come knocking, and he was waiting for it. Was ready to leave. He bounced.
Thank you, God.
When that voice came, he said, "This must be my calling."
Right. It's in that tax collecting business, not my calling. That's it. I'm out.
Right.
Done. Because you know how Yahweh, you already read his
You
story.
already read the mind.
Read the mind. A man probably was like, "Man, you know, that job is killing me. A lot of stress, man. These people, they on my back, they don't like me, you know. But still, I gotta get the work done. You know, what else am I gonna do? You know,
Right.
Yahweh just follow me. I'm gonna make you fishers of men. I'll give you a new job." So
You're right.
But his job is elevated.
right.
Elevated, like way up there.
Fine.
I was looking for him. So he with Jesus.
Yeah, you know how long this man been praying. You know.
Right. Right. But praying, like you say.
Right. He's been waiting for his turn.
And the time came when he heard that heavy voice. Follow me. You know what I mean? And then he said, "Oh, this is my call. Let me get on out of here."
The other guy said, "Let me bury my father. Let me go bury my father before he comes." Let the dead bury the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
That's really too.
And then another again,
Like having fruit.
when Howard Child came with that heavy voice, with that voice that he was speaking,
Right there.
people know when a voice something like that must be really mean something. So they're gonna follow that. They're gonna follow like a microphone. They're gonna follow a microphone. That's the kind of voice you must have had. And they said, "Follow me."
Mm.
You couldn't holler.
You know, be coming in and they say, "Oh well, that's it. I gotta go."
So Yahusha was a great recruiter, man. Good recruiter.
Real good,
Yeah, and he's never off duty, you know.
He had a job. Howard Child had a job, boy.
Right.
I tell you.
And he knows that a lot of people are looking for opportunity. He was right there. As long as you're ready, he picked you right there in there. Matthew, another one, another publican. He picked him right there in there. All right, so let's go. Continue on, verse
18.
Verse 18. And the disciple of John and of the Pharisees used to fast, and they come and say unto him. So now these people, Yahusha is being watched.
Right.
First was the blasphemy, number one. So that's opened the case.
Right.
Right. So they put that in their book. Then second, they saw him sit with publicans and sinners. Write that down.
Write that down.
Notes again. You know, so now let's see what happened now. And Yahshua said unto them, verse 18, and the disciples of John and of the Pharisees used to fast, and they come and say unto him, why do the disciples of John and of the Pharisees fast, but thy disciples fast not? So now here's another thing they're trying to get him on. Now let's see what he answered. Because the disciple fast, it says what?
People know when you fast.
Huh?
You don't want to let people know when you fast.
No.
Is there another fast?
No.
You talking about?
They still know that they fast.
No, yeah, that's what it's saying right here.
It was understood that some people fast.
Right. It's understood that, you know, it says the Pharisees used to fast, and they come to say unto him, why do the disciples of John and the Pharisees fast, fast, but thy disciple fast not? So keep in mind, why do they mention John here? Why do the disciple of John and the Pharisees fast? Why do they mention John and John here?
Because they had a lot of respect for John.
John came first in the scene.
John came first on the scene. You remember John came first on the scene, and we're gonna see more details of why they fast, right? Because John came first on the scene, then we're gonna see what happened now as we read on. Verse 19. And Yahshua said unto them, can the children of the bride's chamber fast while the bridegroom is with them? So now when you fast, right? You fast, and when you pray, and who's gonna take your prayer to the Most High? Who's taking your prayer? Who's receiving your prayer? Who's giving you the passage? Yahushua. Right? Because you cannot go to the Father but by Yahushua. But if Yahushua is right here, talk to him right here.
Right.
Yeah, why should I fast? He's right here with me.
Right.
Because if I'm fasting, Yahushua is supposed to accept it and send it. But if Yahushua is here physically, why should I fast?
Right.
I can just talk to him right down in
Talk
here.
right now.
Right?
Right.
Like simple stuff, right?
Right.
But they did not understand. But John was doing the work when Yahushua, right, was not really active on the scene. So now they fast. But when Yahushua comes on the scene, he's right here. Right? He tells them, can the children of the bride chamber fast while the bridegroom is with them? So he threw the question back in their court. So you see, that's always how Yahushua deals. He never answers a question straight up. If he answers something, he would give you something to go learn more. Right? Like he never talked too much. He will talk the word, and then if you don't understand, he throw a parable. And then he tells you, go learn what that means, go study. Go do some more research. Right? And through your research, you'll even learn more. Right? So why should he even, give you the whole details, right? He tells you just a little bit. And then go do your research. Right? And he says, as long as they have the bridegroom with them, they cannot fast. I'm here. There's no need to fast. I'm here.
I'm in the flesh.
Yeah, I'm with them right now. Verse 20. But the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken away from them, and then shall they fast in those days. Then when I'm out of here, when I'm out of here, I'm not on the scene,
Right.
Then you can fast. Right? When I'm taken away from you, then you can fast.
You can fast, yeah.
Verse 21. No man also seweth a piece of new clothes on an old garment, or the new piece that fill it up taketh away from the old, and the rent is made worse. What are we saying here? Give the sense. Anybody? Right. So from what I understood, it was Levi house that he went to when he was there in Capernaum.
Also.
Right. Huh? Because when he told Levi, follow me, so Levi follow him straight to because he didn't leave in Capernaum. Right. He was travel around. Right. He grew up in Nazareth. That's where his parents were.
Right.
Right. So he was sitting at a meal, eating with them over there.
So they were there to leave our house to the sinners and the Pharisees.
Right, they were there to the sinners and the publican. They were there. But you always have spies and investigators from the Pharisees, because now Yahushua is being followed. Like like detective following you, the FBI.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at that point, they made themselves seen, because when Yahushua told that man, pick up your bed and walk, that was the first situation. Uh-huh.
Something going on.
Mm-hmm.
Make this ring. And it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Right.
right? Obviously, something going into making it fare worse.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't figure out why adding a new piece is going to make it fare worse.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, because it made it heavy.
Okay.
It made it heavy. If an old garment and you put some new cloth into it, one is heavier than the other. Right. Some of them is you've been wearing it for so long, right? You might tear up the new garment. And old wine in new bottles. Huh? It lose.
I mean, old wine and new skin.
Mm-hmm. Keep in mind, the old wine is already fermented already, fully fermented. If you put new in it, the new wine still have some fermentation that is going to.
They still have the same thing.
Fermentation that is going to. So the old wine is already settled.
Right.
It went through the process of fermentation. Right? Put the new wine in it that's still being fermented, bubbling up. It may break the bottle.
Right.
So old wine in new bottles. So, and the reason is, one of the things that we used to make back then a lot is wine, right?
Right. Plenty of wine.
So they understood the mechanics of the wine. So that's why Yahushua gave him the analogy of the wine. So Yahushua always meet you at your level.
Right.
Whatever you know, that's what Yahushua would hit you with. Right? Whatever you know, Yahushua will hit you with that. Whatever you're familiar with, Yahushua will meet you on your level. Whatever you understand, Yahushua will meet you on your level.
Okay.
Whatever you're familiar with, He will meet you on that level. He'll give you an example so you can understand. And if you don't understand, he'll tell you, go learn what that means. And he said, are you without understanding? Go learn what that means. He'll throw you a parable. And then after that, if you then he'll tell you, reveal the parable. Here's what the parable means.
Right. Okay. Give you a chance to learn your own self.
Gone.
Right.
So it's to be creative in your own mind to understand what he's teaching.
Right.
So that's why it says wisdom is the principal thing. With all thy getting, get understanding.
Get understanding.
Gone.
Excuse me.
Gone.
You know the FBI watching us?
I don't care.
Yeah, I know. Man, just gave you this right here. We number 6 on the list. Say Black Israelites.
Well, where we at?
Black Hebrew Israelites. I must have forgot that. You ain't watching out for me.
And again, another characteristic that you can put, you can have about publicans and it's like, to be a publican, you have to have thick skin. And Yahusha, get Matthew, Levi, and then get Matthew. Some of those people, and also fishers of men.
Mm-hmm.
If you are fearful heart, you scare the people, you can't be fishers of men.
Amen.
See, Yahusha picked the right characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
If you scared, you can't be fishers of men. Because when you go fish, you in the sea in all types of weather. Right? You in your canoe, right? You're not in a big boat like they have it today. Right? And you can feel every shake on the water while you fishing. Right? If you fear, you won't go fish.
You can't go fishing.
If you fear, you can't go fish.
Nope. Out in the sea.
You got to be out in the sea, right?
Yeah.
Right, not on a Delaware River when your feet is on the ground and then you throw a little bait. Nah.
No.
Back then, to be a fishers of men, you have to be a man about your business.
You had to go out.
When Jesus walked through the water, that was a little canoe he walked out of.
Right, so yeah, I'm gonna get this man, that man right there. So if you fear, you can't be fishers of men.
Right.
Because our people are vicious,
Yep.
hard-headed,
Yep.
stiff-necked.
Right.
Those are the fish that you're gonna go after.
Bullheaded.
And you cannot easily catch them on the hook. You gotta come with different
You
hooks.
gotta come with different hooks. Right.
Get him over the head with a club.
Right? So to be a publican, people coming, they don't like you and you still gotta do your job. Right? This is the characteristic. You have to have a startup. You have to have a startup. You have to have a background. And then the Most High would pick you. Yahusha would pick those men. So you have to be like a rescuer. So to be on a fish, you have to be ready if one of your men fall in the water to swim after them so you can go get them.
Right. You gotta be ready.
Yeah. See, that's why when it's just like you can't let none of your sheep go. Right, my sheep, he my fault, and everybody make sure that not even one escape.
That's what he said that all the sheep, one of them went away, and he went to look for it.
Right. So you gotta be on point. You have to have some kind of wanna work in order for you to be a disciple of Yahusha.
Right.
So just the analogy being a fisherman, not this. Think of it back then. It wasn't an easy job. It wasn't an easy job. And to throw your net and then pull in as you catching fish, you gotta watch out so that you yourself don't sink.
Right. You gotta watch yourself. Huh?
Right. Go on. So he told them, someday the bridegroom will be gone. Then at that point, they will need to fast because the bridegroom will be out.
Right.
So he's dropping some jewels here, But the Jews, the Pharisees, they were very strict at the fasting business. They fast regularly. They were regular fasters. Yep. But keep in mind, Yahushua is not against fasting, though. One point to note in that. He's not against fasting. He told them that the day will come when they would have to fast.
Right.
So there are good reasons to fast, right?
Mhm.
So fasting, you deny yourself of food, things that the body needs, so that you can get spiritual food, connect to the Most High.
Right. Yeah, you get more. Seem like when you put yourself in mind that you want to do this.
Right, because like food is it's good for the body.
Right.
But to deny yourself from it is to gravitate towards the Most High, which is much necessary. It gets you to appreciate the Most High first,
Right.
from that time that you are fasting. Right, you're denying your body from what it needs to survive.
Right.
Yeah, on the Day of Atonement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did it right. But after that time was over,
You was hungry.
man,
You was hungry.
that last hour, 30 minutes.
Man, and keep in mind the fasting of the time of Pharisees is more so for
Your input is invalid.
self-display though. That's for show off. Yeah, that's for showing off. Man, I'm fasting.
Right.
I'm fasting today. You know, their faces. That's why that's why the scripture had to be written. When you fast, don't let people know that you're fasting.
Right.
For those people that's showing off.
Oh, table food.
Right. So you should, when we fast, it shouldn't be we fast for fasting's sake, but we gotta fast as a feeling of how you feel in the mind, in the spirit. Not I'm fasting for ritual. Okay, man, they fast at this time, I'm gonna fast too, right? Because that's what they do. They fast, but you gotta fast for a specific reason in the spirit or purpose. You know why you're fasting, not for ritual sake. And that's how the Pharisees, they used to fast. They used to fast constantly for display. After a while, that fasting means nothing. Right? Con. So, and Yahushua give the example of the bridegroom, right?
Right.
And right. So now when we're talking about, the bridegroom,
Mm-hmm.
what example can we give with the bridegroom that Yahushua give? Give an example of the bride. Why would Yahushua use the bridegroom in that sense? Just an example.
The 10 virgins.
The bridegroom.
When we're waiting for the bridegroom.
Uh-huh.
Five were wise, and 5 were foolish.
Uh-huh.
So they rejoiced and they went with the bridegroom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's a joyous occasion.
It's a joyous occasion. That's pretty much it. When Yahushua is there, it's a joyous occasion. When you fast, is it joyous? It's not a joyous occasion when you fast.
No. Concentration.
You got to concentrate. You got to be focused, right? But when you have a wedding, it's joyous occasion. That's why I use the bridegroom. It's celebration time. It's joyous occasion. When he's gone now, then we can fast. Because things will not be that joyous. Because we're gonna need him. So we need to fast.
Right.
But when he's there, we don't need to fast. It's joyous occasion. And his presence is joyous occasion. Imagine you sad while your house is there. Why would you need? Why would you be fast while your house is there?
You will need.
Right?
Right.
Because any problem you can have, the man that can has the solution is right there.
Right.
The solution man is right there.
Right.
So what problem can you have with your house around?
No problem at all.
No problem at all. So it's joyous occasion. So there's no need to fast. Gone. And he used the bridegroom, right? When you're in a wedding, it's bottles of, drinks, food, everything is there, music. Right. That's why I use the bridegroom. He want to give you a picture of a scene of a party going on. Okay. Around me, right here, it's joyous occasion, right? Yeah, it's feasting time. It's joyous days. Right. When me there, I'm all about joy. Nobody should be sad. Nobody should be fasting. Right. When I'm not there, there's need to be fast. It's a different story.
So when he died, they were sad.
Gone.
Right.
Gone. So the wedding guests at that bridegroom example that he gave, they accept on fasting at that time. The guests right there, the people that was around him, they are my guests. And when you are a guest in the Most High's house, everything is good. Huh? But it would be a good scare though. Scared and it's a mixed emotion,
When he returns on the Passover, when we're gonna have the Passover with him.
Mm-hmm.
He gets Passover in the whole world.
Fine. So let's finish up. What verse we on now?
23.
Right. 23, because we just read no man put old wine in new bottle. Right? You can't mix, old wine with new.
We're on 23.
Right. 23. And it came to pass that he went through the cornfield, so more evidence are being gathered now.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass that he went through the cornfield on the Sabbath day. And you can see how I just plucked there, give him more evidence, so-called evidence that they think they have on him. The cornfield on the Sabbath day. Now he went on the Sabbath day. Mm-hmm. He went in the cornfield on the Sabbath day.
On the Sabbath day.
And his disciples began as they went to pluck the ears of corn. 24. And the Pharisees said unto him, Behold, why do they on the Sabbath day why do they on the Sabbath day that which is not lawful? That's that, man.
Yeah, I was thinking too that it's not like saying they gathering bushel of corn or whatever to go sell it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing that.
Went to the cornfield.
Right? But he went on a Sabbath day though.
He had the power to do it.
He had the power to do it.
And he had the power to do it. Go on.
You just come back and go to work. You're home.
Right? Okay.
Other type of work. On Sabbath.
He had a purpose to do it.
Without teaching and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
a meat.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that must have been a reason why he went to on the Sabbath day. He was
Mm-hmm.
going to build.
It come from war.
Ya Quran?
Oh,
No.
Gonna get more if you really read.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's read on. So we can get the details as we read on. 24.
Mhm.
And the Pharisees said unto him, Behold, why do they on the Sabbath day that which is not lawful? Verse 25.
Mhm.
And he said unto them, Have ye never read what David did when he had need and was an hungered? He and they that were with him,
Mhm.
how he went into the house of God in the days of Abiathar,
Mhm.
the high priest, and did eat the shewbread,
Mhm.
which is not lawful to eat, but for the priests, and gave also to them which were with him?
Mhm.
Is the answer. In time of need. That's the word right there, need.
Okay. So
It was needed.
it was understandable because it was needed.
It was needed.
Right.
If you need something, it's not the same as you want something, you do it just because you want to do it. You
Right.
in need.
You need.
If you sick, we have the example in Matthew
You gotta get
about the ditch. If you have one sheep and it fall on the day, would you not get it on the Sabbath day?
right. Go up and go looking for it.
You're gonna go looking for it because you need it.
right.
That's the only one you got. You need it. If you need, you can exercise grace.
Mhm.
Why? Because the Sabbath doesn't have rule over you. The Sabbath is created for you, not the other way around. Right?
Right.
Get it? The Sabbath don't rule you. You rule the Sabbath. Yahushua is ruler over the Sabbath. So which means Yahushua bring out the understanding of how to keep the law, how to keep the Sabbath. Not breaking it, but how to keep it.
And you know you keep it. So you have grace and mercy in the Sabbath.
Right.
That's what you do.
You're not like the Pharisees. You don't want to be like the Pharisees. You straightforward law, 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 law. And you got somebody dying in your house. You're the only one that can take him to the hospital. You said, nah, man, I'm going to the Sabbath show.
Right.
They hell with you.
Right.
Sorry, man. I can't do it. I got to go to the Sabbath service.
I gotta go to the
Yeah, I got to go to the Sabbath service, man.
You got to go.
It's the law. It's the law. It's the law. Yeah. It's the law, man. Yeah, I told you stop sinning. That's why you sick, man. Yeah.
Oh man.
You gotta exercise, good grace. Exercise mind. That's why the Most High give you a mind. That's why you're not like a robot.
If you was a robot, you'd be following everything.
Right. That's why you're not like a robot. You don't break the law just to break the law. But you do what you gotta do in time of need.
Right. That's understandable.
Right. So the operative word in this text here is need. Fine. Right. So another way is when you look at John, those people, they were set in their ways, the Pharisees.
Okay.
And you can see that as even us, since we awaken,
Right.
we tend to see things differently, even though we grow in age,
Right.
but we have an open mind, right? We have an open mind.
Right.
Something may be new, we analyze it. But oftentimes with old tradition, as we get old, we despise new things, right? As we get old, we despise new things that come along. Not that new things are bad, what kind of new things it is. And how to use that new thing, it's all depends. Right? As you get old, you have to adapt. So Yahushua was teaching them adaptation. Yeah, you used to John's way, right? But here's the new way now.
Okay.
I'm teaching you how to do things, you know, in a, not that the old thing that you were doing was bad, but I'm showing you, right, a flexible way to do it.
More
Modern type way to do it. It's the same thing, but I'm teaching you new techniques.
Right.
Right? That's why he uses the old wine in new bottles.
Okay. Right.
Right? Old clothes in new clothes. Right? So if the old is fighting against the new one of them gonna get ripped.
That's for sure.
That's for sure, right? So that shouldn't be fine. That should be a harmonized.
Right.
Right? How to take this one and mix it with this one properly. Right? The old can still coexist with the old, but you just gotta find the right technique to use it.
Okay.
Keep the old things with the old things, the new thing with the new things. Use the new things when they need to be used, and use the old things when they need to be used.
So
right?
you can use both of them.
You can use both of them. Fun.
Danny.
So when you don't let your mind be fixed in one thing. That's why even the scriptures, we have the Old Testament and the New Testament. They're not fighting with one another.
Right. They need it when it's needed.
You use that when you need it, and you use this when it's needed. Right? And none of them in conflict with each other. There's no contradiction. It's all the same.
Right.
Right? So he was trying to, stimulate our mind to make us understand things, better. So try to plant some elasticity in our mind, to make sure that we stretch our understanding, because the mind can be stretched, right? Verse 27. And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for men, and not men for the Sabbath. It's the statement that I made earlier.
Same thing you made.
The Sabbath was made for men, but not men for the Sabbath.
Right.
Use the Sabbath wisely. To the point where you not become ritualistic and forget the understanding of how to use the Sabbath.
So we already did
it.
What part we explain?
Like the most important thing, but all of them is, but this happens to be one of the most important things. God.
Okay.
I had something for you right here.
Okay, Yaukanan. What verse you gonna go into? The Apocrypha, right?
First Maccabees 2:38.
First Maccabees.
38.
He's right there. 238.
2:38.
Yeah. So they rose up against them in Babylon on the Sabbath, and they slew them with their wives and children and their cattle to the number of 1,000 people. Now when Matthias And his friends understood they mourned for them right sore. And one of them said to another, if we all do as our brethren have done, and fight not for our lives and laws against the heathen, they will now quickly root us out of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And verse 41, at that time, therefore, they decreed, saying, whosoever shall come to make battle with us on the Sabbath day, we will fight against him. Neither will we die all as our brethren that were murdered secret places. So we didn't fight on the Sabbath day. So they killed a lot of our people. And we say like now we're gonna fight on the Sabbath day. To save our lives.
Right, because we need it. Right. Because we need it to fight. Right.
Because we'll all be perished. They say, oh wow, we don't fight on the Sabbath day? Attack them.
Right.
A lot of our people died. And so like now we fight every day.
Right.
Right, brother? We fight every day, right?
Got to be ready. Got to be ready.
So now, also write down 1 Samuel.
1 Samuel.
Go on. 1 Samuel 21, verse 1 to 6, about David, what Yahushua mentioned about David.
1 Samuel.
1 Samuel chapter 21, 1 to 6.
Okay. 26. Done.
What David did. He was fleeing from his life. He was on a run. And when he went, he asked for food. He couldn't find food. The only food that was available is the bread in the temple. So he went and eat it. But on a normal day, he's not supposed to.
He wasn't supposed to eat it.
But in time of need, he used it and eat it. Done. We straight up give him an example right there in there. Right? So you have 12 loaves on a place. He was running from read it in Samuel.
Samuel will tell you.
You have a scripture?
Matthew 12 and 5.
Matthew.
It says, or have you not read in the law how that on the Sabbath days the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are blameless? But they are, sacrificing and they do all of these things, by the sacrifice on the Sabbath day. The most are required. Or you don't go to court.
Right, and also to get more understanding on the Samuel, the showbread, go to Exodus 25, 23 and 30. Exodus 25, verse 23 to 30. It's going to give you explanation of how you're not supposed to eat the showbread and how it was supposed to be conducted. Which in line again with what he did.
Okay.
And also only the priest could partake. Right?
Okay.
Write down Leviticus 24 and 9.
Leviticus 24 and 9.
Right. So at that point in this time of need, David took of that bread and ate. So that's why you have a mind. That's why the Most High give you a mind. Sometimes use your discretion
Right.
righteously.
Right.
In time of need, you do it.
Mhm.
That's where wisdom come in.
Mhm.
You got to use wisdom. But if you're like a robot, you'll be just like the Pharisees.
Won't use your own mind.
You won't use the mind that the Most High gave you. If your mind is in the right place, you'll have good insight.
Mhm.
So the Sabbath was made for the sake of man.
Mhm.
And that right there was self-evident, what he showed right there.
Mhm.
And all that Yahushua did, not just to do it, but to teach a lesson. Whatever Yahushua did, that it was for a lesson.
You understand?
And he went exactly on the Sabbath day to did what was done, given the circumstance at that time, just to teach a lesson.
That was to give understanding to one.
The Sabbath was made for the sake of men. Yeah.
Verse 28.
And not men and not men for the sake of the Sabbath.
Mhm.
That's pretty much the sense.
You should be able to understand. It says there,
So pretty much it tells you you were not created to be a slave of the Sabbath, of the Sabbath. Right?
right, the last verse says that the Son of Man,
Because the Sabbath is made to make things easier for us. Right? To make things easier for us, not to make things harder for us. That's why on the Sabbath day you have to do it willingly. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be a burden. That's why the Most High said, when you come to my feast days, including the Sabbath day, to not come with burden.
okay.
Because the Sabbath shouldn't be a burden. If
Right.
you feel like the Sabbath's the burden,
Don't
it's
come.
best don't come. Because it shouldn't be a burden. If you feel, honestly, you don't feel right, and you feel like, coming to the Sabbath is a burden, don't come.
Last verse, the Son of Man is the Lord of the Sabbath.
Because the Sabbath shouldn't be a burden. It should be a joyous time, right, for you to come and worship the Most High.
First, yeah, come and listen what the Most High have to say.
Done. So it shouldn't be like the Sabbath is enslaving you.
Mhm.
So you're not created to be a victim of the Sabbath or a slave of the Sabbath. The
Right.
Sabbath should be, man, the Sabbath is coming in, I'm happy.
Mhm.
So I have the full week, I'm here, I did what I had to do. Man, the Sabbath come, I'm here.
Here to listen.
I'm happy that the Sabbath is here because a week is completed. I'm moving towards the kingdom. Every time you see a Sabbath, you're moving towards the kingdom.
Right. Good thinking, Clark.
Right? Even though each day might look alike, but each day is different.
Mhm.
It may not. It may seem that way because familiarity may tells you that every day is the same, but it's not. You're moving forward. Right? You're moving forward towards the kingdom in the scripture.
Right.
Right? Each day can be passed. If you're in the world, each day is going down for you.
Right.
You wanna going down. Each day that's moving forward, you wanna going down. If you're not in the truth, each day that's passing, you going down. Yes.
Esau getting closer to death.
You get Esau's getting closer to death every day.
Right.
It's just sleeping with the sun.
Even though in the world you may see new technology coming out, it seems like new thing is coming out. Esau is plunging into death every day, closer and closer into death. But us in the truth that's keeping the law, we're moving forward towards the kingdom. So the Sabbath exists to make life better for us. That's what the Sabbath is there for. All right, so we almost done, right?
Oh, that chapter.
That chapter.
Oh, hold on for me. I got something for you.
What you got?
Here.
Y'all can you got something?
No, I don't have anything. I just standing up for standing up.
Oh, okay. All right, so last verse. Again, it says, therefore the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath.
Also,
Not just the Sabbath, it's also of the Sabbath. He's Lord, but also of the Sabbath. For those who want to say, y'all shall break the Sabbath day, you're not supposed to keep it no more, that's a lie.
Right.
right.
All right, so that concludes chapter 2 in Mark.
Right.
We're gonna take a break at 2:35. We will reconvene to take on
Chapter 3.
3. All right, stay tuned. Shalom.
Shalom.
Is it anybody on the telegram?
2:35. Fun.
It is? They come? Who's the last thing? Lady from the telegram? That's right. He said, well, you really need to speak.
Great time, man.
Yeah, go to work.
I'm sleepy and tired.
Yeah, but see, we come to grant everything.
Huh?
You do work.
Yeah.